Think you're giving your kids a healthy breakfast? Pouring Cheerios, Lucky Charms, or Fruit Loops into their bowls every morning? Wrong. What I'm about to show you will make you throw out every box of cereal in your pantry. Welcome to Food Bazooka, where we blow up the myths that the $18 billion cereal industry doesn't want you to know. The Environmental Working Group just dropped a bombshell. They tested 21 popular cereals marketed to children and found glyphosate, Roundup weed killer, in every single. 1. We're talking 833 parts per billion in Honey Nut Cheerios. That's 5 times what's safe for kids. And that's just the beginning. We're also talking about cereals that are 56% sugar, more than a Twinkie, and artificial dyes that are banned in Europe because they cause hyperactivity and ADHD symptoms in children. Today, we're exposing the top 10 worst breakfast cereals. These aren't fringe brands. These are in every household in America. Before we expose the worst brands, let me break down the 5 major problems lurking in your kid's breakfast bowl. Problem number 1, glyphosate, the cancer-causing weed killer. Glyphosate is the active ingredient in Roundup. In 2015, the World Health Organization declared it a probable human carcinogen. And in 2018, a California jury awarded a school groundskeeper $289 million after concluding that Roundup caused his terminal cancer. So why is it in your kid's cereal? Because farmers spray it on oat, wheat, and grain crops right before harvest as a drying agent. This practice, called desiccation, means the glyphosate is absorbed into the crop and doesn't wash off. The Environmental Working Group tested cereals in 2018, 2019, and 2023. Glyphosate was found in 43 of 45 samples, including organic brands. Problem number 2, sugar more than candy. Here's a disgusting fact. Kellogg's Honey Smacks is 55.6% sugar by weight. That's more than half the cereal. 1 cup of Honey Smacks contains more sugar than a Hostess Twinkie. 1 cup of 44 other children's cereals has more sugar than 3 Chips Ahoy cookies. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 6 teaspoons, 25 grams, of added sugar per day for women, and 9 teaspoons, 38 grams, for men. Kids aged 2 to 18 should have less than 6 teaspoons per day, but 1 bowl of most cereals uses up their entire daily sugar limit before they even get to school. Problem number 3, artificial dyes, the ADHD trigger. Red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1. These petroleum-based dyes are in every colorful cereal, and they're destroying kids' brains. Multiple studies link these dyes to hyperactivity, inattentiveness, irritability, aggression, and ADHD symptoms. California's Office of Environmental Health Hazard Assessment reviewed decades of research and concluded that Red 40 and Yellow 5 pose significant risks to children's developing brains. The rate of ADHD in American children has doubled in the past 20 years, from 6% to 10%. Coincidence? I think not. And here's the kicker. In Europe, any food containing these dyes must carry a warning label. May have an adverse effect on activity and attention in children. In America, no warning. Companies can dump unlimited amounts of toxic dyes into kids' cereal with 0 consequences. Problem number 4, deceptive healthy marketing. Look at the boxes. They say whole grain, heart healthy, good source of fiber, vitamins and minerals. But you know what they don't say? That the cereal is 40% sugar, contaminated with pesticides, and loaded with artificial chemicals. General Mills puts heart healthy on Lucky Charms because it's low in saturated fat, but it's got 12 grams of sugar per serving and artificial dyes linked to ADHD. Kellogg's Frosted Flakes says, good source of vitamin D. Yeah, because they fortify it with synthetic vitamins after stripping away all the natural nutrients during processing. Problem number 5, serving size deception. Every box lists a serving size, right? Usually 3/4 cup or 1 cup. But here's the scam. 97% of people eat more than the listed serving size. Kids especially, they pour huge bowls. So when Fruit Loops says 12 grams of sugar per serving, your kid is actually getting 18 to 24 grams in their real portion. Companies intentionally use tiny serving sizes to make their nutrition labels look better. It's food fraud, pure and simple. All right, let's expose the brands. Here are the top 10 worst breakfast cereals you should never buy for your kids. I'm ranking these based on glyphosate contamination, sugar content, artificial dye levels, and deceptive marketing. Hashtag 10, Cap and Crunch, all varieties. Starting at number 10, Cap and Crunch. This cereal has been shredding the roofs of kids' mouths since 1963, but that's not even its biggest problem. Cap and Crunch is 42% sugar. Nearly half the cereal is pure sugar. 42% sugar by weight, 16 to 17 grams per serving. Red 40, yellow 5, blue 1, artificial dyes. Refined corn and oat flour with no whole grains. Crunch Berries version adds more dyes. Zero nutritional value beyond added synthetic vitamins. Owned by Quaker and PepsiCo. Hashtag 9, Trix. Number 9 is Trix. Silly rabbit, Trix are for kids. Yeah, silly kids whose parents don't read labels. Trix is packed with artificial colors, red 40, yellow 6, blue 1, and more, specifically designed to make it look like a rainbow. Multiple artificial dyes including red 40, yellow 6, blue 1. 12 grams sugar per serving, but actual portions are much higher, made from refined corn and whole grain corn. Marketed directly to children with cartoon characters. Studies show red 40 causes behavioral changes in sensitive kids. As of 2023, still contains artificial dyes despite 2016 promise to remove them. In 2016, General Mills announced they'd remove artificial colors from Trix. They did, for exactly 2 years. Then in 2018, they brought the dyes back because customers complained it didn't look fun anymore. Profits over health, folks. Hashtag 8, Apple Jacks. At number 8, Apple Jacks from Kellogg's. Let me ask you something. Do you see any apples in this cereal? No, because there aren't any. It's corn flour, wheat flour, sugar, and artificial flavoring that's supposed to taste like apples and cinnamon. 12 grams sugar per serving. Red 40, yellow 6, blue 1 dyes. Zero real apples or cinnamon. Apple and cinnamon are artificial flavors. Marketed to kids with cartoon characters. No significant nutritional value. Number 7, Quaker Old-Fashioned Oats. Number 7 might shock you. Quaker Old-Fashioned Oats. Wait, isn't oatmeal supposed to be healthy? Not when it's contaminated with glyphosate. The EWG found that Quaker Old-Fashioned Oats had 1,000 parts per billion of glyphosate, the highest levels of any product tested. 1,000 parts per billion glyphosate according to EWG testing. That's 6 times higher than EWG's safety benchmark for children. Glyphosate from pre-harvest desiccation. Even their natural and wholesome marketing is a lie. Instant oat varieties also contaminated, owned by PepsiCo. Quaker responded by saying their oats are safe and meet EPA standards. But here's the problem. The EPA's standards were set by an agency that's been caught colluding with Monsanto to promote glyphosate as safe. The EPA's own scientists disagree with those standards. Number 6, Frosted Flakes. Coming in at number 6, Frosted Flakes. Tony the Tiger says they're great. But you know what's not great? The 12 grams of sugar per serving and the fact that frosted literally means coated in sugar. 37% sugar by weight. Contains BHT, butylated hydroxytoluene, a preservative banned in many countries. Made from milled corn, which is refined, not whole grain. Fortified with synthetic vitamins to appear healthy. Marketed as heart healthy, despite sugar content. Glyphosate detected in testing. Number 5, Lucky Charms. At number 5, Lucky Charms. You know those colorful marshmallows kids love? They're made from pure sugar and artificial dyes. And the oat pieces, contaminated with glyphosate. 12 grams sugar per serving, and the marshmallows are basically candy. Red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1 dyes. Glyphosate detected. EWG found 118 to 197 parts per billion. Magically delicious equals chemically processed. Oat flour sourced from glyphosate-treated crops. General Mills reformulated in 2023 but still contains dyes. Parents think they're giving their kids a fun breakfast. They're actually giving them a bowl of pesticides and artificial chemicals that will make them hyperactive and unable to focus in school. Hashtag 4, Fruit Loops. Number 4 is Fruit Loops from Kellogg's. This cereal is 41.4% sugar by weight. And those bright colors, red 40, yellow 6, blue 1, the exact dyes that California's health agency says pose significant risks to children. 41.4% sugar, 12 to 13 grams per serving. 3 different artificial dyes, made from refined grains including corn flour, wheat flour, oat flour. 0 real fruit despite the name. Natural fruit flavor is synthetic chemicals. Studies link these specific dyes to ADHD symptoms. A 2020 pilot study found that artificial food colorings affect brainwave activity in people with ADHD and increase symptoms. Fruit Loops is basically an ADHD trigger in a bowl. Number 3, Honey Nut Cheerios. Bronze medal for worst cereal goes to Honey Nut Cheerios. General Mills markets this as a heart-healthy breakfast, but the EWG found 833 parts per billion of glyphosate in Honey Nut Cheerios Medley Crunch, 5 times what's safe for children. 833 parts per billion glyphosate, the highest among Cheerios varieties tested. 12 grams sugar per serving. Natural almond flavor is artificial. Heart healthy, claim is deceptive. Ignores pesticides and sugar. Regular Honey Nut Cheerios tested at 470 to 530 parts per billion glyphosate. General Mills refuses to stop using glyphosate-contaminated oats. General Mills' response? Our products are safe and meet regulatory levels. Translation, we're following the absolute minimum legal requirements, and we don't care about your kids' health. Number 2, Kellogg's Honey Smacks. The silver medal of shame goes to Kellogg's Honey Smacks, formerly called Sugar Smacks, until even Kellogg's realized that name was too honest. This cereal is 55.6% sugar. More than half the cereal is pure sugar. 55.6% sugar by weight, 20 grams per cup. 1 cup has more sugar than a Hostess Twinkie, which has 18 grams. Used to be honestly called Sugar Smacks. Puffed wheat coated in honey and sugar. No fiber, no nutrition, just sugar and synthetic vitamins. Kids eat 2 to 3 cups, consuming 40 to 60 grams sugar in one breakfast. Parents would never give their kids a Twinkie for breakfast, but they pour Honey Smacks without a second thought because it's cereal and it says honey on the box. Honey Smacks is literally candy masquerading as breakfast food. Number 1, cereals marketed to children, entire category. And the number 1 worst breakfast cereal you can buy isn't a single brand. It's an entire category. Any cereal marketed directly to children with cartoon characters, bright colors, and fun shapes. These cereals average 40% more sugar than adult cereals. 92% of children's cereals contain added sugars. Most contain multiple artificial dyes banned or restricted in other countries. Glyphosate found in 95% of oat-based products tested. Companies spend billions marketing poison to children. Cartoon characters create brand loyalty starting at age 2 to 3. Serving sizes are deliberately small to hide true sugar content. Think about this. Tony the Tiger, Toucan Sam, Lucky the Leprechaun. These aren't just mascots. They're weapons. They're psychological tools designed by food scientists to make children beg for poison. These companies conduct extensive research on child psychology. They know exactly what colors, characters, and packaging will manipulate your kids. And it works. Studies show that children as young as 3 prefer foods with cartoon characters, even if the food tastes bad. The Environmental Working Group found that children's cereals contain an average of 40% more sugar than adult cereals. Why? Because kids are targeted as lifelong customers. Hook them young with sugar and dyes, and they'll keep buying your products for decades. Every single morning, millions of parents pour these cereals for their kids thinking they're providing a balanced breakfast. Instead, they're giving them glyphosate, sugar crashes, artificial dyes that trigger behavioral problems, and 0 actual nutrition. Okay, I know this is devastating. You're looking at your pantry in horror right now. So, what do you do? Permai switch to glyphosate-free certified cereals. Look for cereals certified glyphosate residue-free by the Detox Project. Brands like Lovebird, 7 Sundays, 1 Degree Organics, and Nature's Path actually test their products. If a brand doesn't test and publish results, assume it's contaminated. 2. Check the sugar, under 6 grams per serving. Any cereal with more than 6 grams of sugar per serving is candy, not breakfast. Period. Look for unsweetened cereals like plain Cheerios, the yellow box, shredded wheat, or oatmeal from tested brands. 3. Avoid all artificial dyes. If you see red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1, or artificial colors on the label, put it back. Your kids don't need rainbow cereal. They need real food. 4. Read the ingredient list, not the front of the box. Ignore health claims on the front. Turn the box around and read the actual ingredients. If sugar is in the first 3 ingredients, it's a sugar bomb. If you see long chemical names you can't pronounce, it's processed garbage. 5. Make your own breakfast. The best breakfast isn't cereal at all. Eggs, Greek yogurt with berries, oatmeal made from tested oats, whole grain toast with nut butter, smoothies with real fruit, these are actually nutritious. 6. Buy organic, but check for glyphosate. Organic doesn't guarantee glyphosate-free. The EWG found glyphosate in 5 of 16 organic cereals tested. Cross-contamination from neighboring farms happens. Only buy organic products from brands that also test for glyphosate. 7. Dilute the sugar. If your kids refuse to give up sugary cereal, mix it 50-50 with unsweetened cereal, half Honey Nut Cheerios, half plain Cheerios. They still get some sweetness, but you cut the sugar in half. 8. Demand better from companies. Kellogg's announced they'll phase out glyphosate by 2025, but that deadline has passed and they're still using it. General Mills refuses to commit to anything. Call them out, tweet at them, leave reviews. Companies only change when customers force them to. Look, breakfast can be the most important meal of the day, but only if you're eating real food. These cereals, they're not food. They're products. Chemical concoctions designed by food scientists to be addictive, marketed by psychologists to manipulate children, and defended by lawyers when people get sick. The brands I exposed today are part of a multi-billion-dollar industry that's poisoning our kids for profit. General Mills, Kellogg's, Quaker. These companies know their products contain glyphosate. They know the artificial dyes cause behavioral problems. They know the sugar levels are dangerous, and they don't care. But you have the power. Every time you skip the colorful cereal and buy something real, every time you teach your kids to recognize food marketing manipulation, every time you sign a petition or call out a company, you're fighting back. You're telling these corporations that we will not sacrifice our children's health for their profits anymore, so throw out those toxic cereals. Stop buying anything with cartoon characters on it. Switch to certified, tested, low-sugar, dye-free options. And remember, if a company won't test for glyphosate and publish the results, assume the worst. I'm Food Bazooka, and I just destroyed the breakfast cereal industry for your kids' health. If this video saved your family from pesticides and sugar bombs, smash that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me which cereal shocked you most, or what your kids are eating right now. Until next time, stay informed, stay healthy, and for the love of God, feed your kids real food. Peace.